to William Morris with my deepest admiration and respect. Howard Hughes.
What's going on, everybody? This is Scott, also known as Cha-Ching King, and today I'm going to take you along on a private pick that I got to go to this week. I got to go through her house, her sheds, her attic, and I got to pick out any of the things that I want and see if she's willing to sell them. And she's looking to get rid of things, but they saved everything. I don't have a ton of footage, but let me show you some of the stuff that I do have. Everything from the antique phone to, that's a reproduction fire chief thing. I meant to take a closer look at the pipes. And if you've ever been in one of these places, it just gets overwhelming and you forget to go back and look at things. So the good news is I can go back as much as I need to. Every surface was loaded with stuff. This was in his office and it's just packed. I didn't see any real boom boxes, but there's lots of radios like this one right back here. And there is stuff everywhere. And when I say that, I mean every drawer is full, every cabinet is full, and you just have to take your time and look. Now, this guy loved to tinker, like these caliphones, this thing right here. He's got like 50 of them. And those things are filled one of his sheds. He's got a bunch of them. Check out this clock. There were a bunch of clocks in the house. And I loved this one, and I may take a look at some of the clocks and see if they're worth picking up. And I take a quick look at the bookshelf and make sure that, I don't see anything. One of the things I look for when I start seeing cookbooks is the Luby's 50th anniversary cookbook is worth quite a bit. I always look to see if there's one of those. Some of the things you see, like the Butter Busters and all, those are everywhere. You're not going to make any money trying to pick up those. In the attic, oh my gosh, y'all. There's so much cool stuff. And I did get something out of the attic I'll show you in a little bit. The problem is the floor up here was half-inch press board. And it was old and worn out. And I did fall through the press board, but not through the ceiling at one point. You literally had to make sure that you stayed on the ceiling joists. But everything is full. Every box is full. Most of it was disposable stuff, but there was some costume jewelry up there, and I took that down, and the people that invited me to go with them, she wanted all the costume jewelry. I picked up just some magnificent stuff out of this attic, and it's one of those that I probably would like to go back and take a closer look in the attic and make sure I didn't miss, not if, but I know I missed more. I don't think the clothes, for the most part, were any good. It wasn't his clothes. They were mostly her clothes. And I did climb over there and kind of just suspended myself from the rafter while I was looking. But there just wasn't anything there that I would take. This is some stuff that I brought home. This thing right here is an inline amplifier for like a CB radio, and that sold this morning for $100. So one of the first things I listed, I've already sold. There were a ton of these microphones. This one is made by Atlas, or at least the stand is. I haven't identified that one yet. I don't think that's terribly valuable, but these other microphones I think are called lollipops. And for obvious reasons, they kind of look like a lollipop. And I thought when I first found them, because they all take a 9-volt battery underneath them, that it was something he had tinkered with and something he had created. But that's how they come. That's how they're used. So that is, I think, for talking on a CB radio. And there were 4 of those that I picked up. And there's a lot of other microphones up there. But I picked out the ones that looked the coolest. So I don't know if they have any real value. I don't think they're very valuable, but I think that they're worth saving, and whatever I can't save could end up being disposed of. So I like to save what I can, and I feel like if I lot all of those together, somebody will want those to see if they can work with them. Like down that one that I'm holding right there, the cord on it was kind of sticky, but that's the D104C, and it's the aesthetic, and they're called lollipop microphones. And there's the 4th one right there. And maybe we'll have some CB people watch the video and can tell us more about them. Okay, this next thing is one of my favorite finds of all time. This right here is the second one of these I found. That is not perfume, it is a gag. When you pull that out, a mouse shoots out of it. I showed it in a video a long time ago, the other one I had, but I sold the last one for like 50 bucks. And I love patches. I always pick up patches if they're loose and easy to get a hold of, but I just like patches. I think you can learn a lot of history from them. Okay, here is the PE suit. And I think that's the Henderson County Junior College. And they changed their name in '83, but I know that this was probably Shirley's or her husband's, and that would have made it early 1950s. And it is the Russell Southern Company, and that's the tag, made in the USA. And believe it or not, the elastic was still pretty good on the shorts. And this is the prize. I'm going to work with Shirley to try and figure out exactly what this Howard Hughes picture is.
I don't know if that matters, but I'll have it in case it does. To William Morris, with my deepest admiration and respect. Howard Hughes. It's to William Morris. Is that it's going to be the cigarette guy?
I don't know.
Do you know where you got this?
He got it in Texaco. It was hanging on the wall.
Okay.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
Oh.
Some of the things I didn't get to show me picking out on camera, either because it was too dark, like in the attic, or because in the shed that it just didn't work. I was climbing over stuff like a spider monkey trying to get back in there. So I'm going to take you out to where I store my stuff, and let me show you some of the things that I picked up and what I hope to do with them. Okay, I am out in my storage building that's on my property. We call this the mill house. This is where my lumber mill used to sit. But I want to show you some of the things I picked up. And the private pick I was at yesterday, check out the stereo equipment I got and something else that's kind of a wild card. So let's see. This is a Concept 16.5. And as far as I can tell, it is in absolutely brilliant condition. Let me get this out of the way. When I get back upstairs, I'll kind of tell you what the deal is when I pick up something like this. If you're not familiar with this particular receiver right here, if it works and everything is as planned in this kind of condition, this is worth thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. The one next to it, this one is a Marantz 2238B. And again, this one is in brilliant condition. There was an auxiliary piece of wood that would have gone around it that they don't have. I don't know if it ever had it, but this was on and functioning when I was there. So I know this one works. And again, the condition on this is absolutely insane. This is not quite as valuable as that one, but it is still very, very valuable. And then I've got 9 of these things right here. These are panic bars for doors. These are new old stock. They are from the mid 80s. And here's the reason they're wild cards is this particular style. The Von Derpen ones like this, I think the ones I have are all the same thing. They're all the 3 foot. I think they're all exactly the same thing. I don't know if they still sell. If they still sell, these are worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars a piece, maybe as much as $500 to $1,000. It just depends. But I would think $300 pretty conservatively, and I got 9 of these at the private pick. So I'm going to go back inside. I'll go upstairs and I'll sit down and let's have a talk about how the private pick works. I paid $100 for the 9 panic bars, $100 for this, and $100 for that. And so let's go back upstairs and talk about how can I do that and still sleep at night? How can you go into a place and bring home potentially thousands of dollars worth of stuff and pay $300? And let me tell you exactly how this works for me. Because I have built my private picks on the basis of trust. If I go in and I pick things up like these stereos, there's a good chance that because her husband tinkered with everything, there's a good chance that once we hook them up to speakers and things like that, that they don't work. That he's done something really wild or strange with them. So I'm going to have to pay to get them done. But here's the deal. The people that invite me in, they know that if I paid $100 for that first receiver and it ends up being worth, say, $3,000, that I don't profit $2,900 minus whatever I spent to get it fixed or worked on. I'm going to go back to them and I'm going to make it right. I'm going to go back, tell them what I made. They're going to probably see this video. In fact, I think she's excited about being on YouTube. They're going to see the video and they know that if it works out, I'm going to go back to them. The same thing would happen with the second stereo, and the same thing would happen with those panic bars. I'm actually kind of hoping that the panic bars might be a thing. My gut says I'll probably be sitting on them a year from now and I'll be looking to get rid of them. But what if they do sell? And I got 9 of them for $100, so I paid, what, $11 each? Then what do? What I do then, if these things start selling and they're actually worth 300, 400, 500, let's say they were worth $1,000 each. Again, the people that invite me in know that I'm not going to profit $9,000 because I already have them here with me. Does she have an inventory list for me? No. Do they trust me to come back and make it right if I do get lucky? Because if I get lucky, then they do too. I'm going to make sure that I take care of them. Private picks don't just happen. You will occasionally get invited somewhere if people know what you do. But there's an art to it. And honestly, I've been pretty successful at it. Like I say, we don't go to the Goodwill bins anymore unless it's just for fun. I never go into thrift stores unless it's just for fun. My inventory, for the most part, comes from storage lockers and it comes from private picks. If you're interested in the storage lockers, I have a new channel for that, the Cha-Ching King Picking, and it's blowing up. I mean, there's the potential that I will be monetized in about 30 days from the day I posted the first video. But in March, I'm going to be speaking at the BOSS Reseller Remix in Las Vegas, and I'm going to present on private picks just like this one and how you can start developing those for yourself. Because in a world where thrift stores are raising their prices and it's, I mean, to the point of tragedy, because they're not serving the needy with the prices that they're charging. They certainly don't make it easy for the resellers who have supported them for all these years. I bypass all of that. And so I'm going to have a session in Vegas where we talk about that. And I'm going to participate in all the other stuff. So the people that go will get an opportunity to hopefully talk to me one-on-one or in small groups where we can talk about what we do. Plus, I like what I do, and I like talking to the other people who like what we do. So I would love to meet some of you there. If you do decide to go, use my code. I won't get rich off you using my code, but you get a little bit of a discount, and it does help me out. So my code, when you sign up for it, is Cha-Ching, and I'll put all of this into the description so that you can find it. But I would love to meet you in Vegas if there's any way you can be there. And we're going to talk about private picks. That's going to be the goal when we get there, is so that you can start doing what I do, because the potential blows away everything else. This private pick was absolutely awesome. I paid $300. I know I'll make that back and plus some, even if nothing goes perfectly. But if things go perfectly, Shirley and I are going to make a lot more money. A lot more money, and I am genuinely looking forward to driving back up there, handing her a bunch of cash that she's not expecting. So that's it for this one. I always appreciate you watching. I'm going to see you real soon on the next one. Bye.